Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about the action combat trailer for Ashes of Creation, the new upcoming MMORPG that's supposed to be like the next big thing. Okay, like, I don't know what to say. You guys should know about it by now. And if you don't, well, hey, now you know. It's like the next big MMO, kind of. It's kickstarted, got like tons of money and stuff and things, and it's trying to do a lot of cool stuff. One of those cool things that they're trying to do is have a PvP-focused gameplay. And initially, the gameplay, the mechanics that they showed previously in trailers, the combat mechanics mainly, we had a lot of negative thoughts as the community, and now we have a new trailer that shows off maybe some things that are kind of exciting. So, this is my fetish.
Double kill, baby. Triple, baby. Let's go. You want something? Oh!
I actually said that really recently as I did a first look at a medieval magic and melee type of first-person shooter. In fact, I play a lot of games that are this mix of magic and melee and really feel like a MMO battleground, but just the battlegrounds. So I don't know what you call that genre, but I've played so many, from like Archblade or even Might and Magic Dark Messiah had a multiplayer like that. We have the new Mirage, Arcane Warfare that nobody plays. Actually, this entire genre nobody plays. So I play a lot of these kind of games, and even games that don't have magic. So stuff like For Honor, or I guess you could say, yeah, Dark Souls PvP. I really enjoy this scene and these controls. So hopefully my opinion will carry a little bit of weight. And of course, yes, I've covered MMOs and I've played MMOs, and yes, I play MMO Battlegrounds. Definitely part of both communities, which kind of branches from fighting game community to full MMORPG community. And I think that my thoughts and feelings can definitely sink a little bit deeper than maybe my peers. But I have to say one thing about my peers and about all the other footages that you're going to be seeing, which is kind of why I have a more kind of sad voice today. It's that Ashes of Creation is using a sort of pyramid scheme-y type of influencer sort of thing. Basically, they're allowing influencers to use referral links. So basically, this is why everyone is constantly spamming Ashes of Creation, and constantly, if you look in their videos, you will see in almost every single video, hey, here is my referral link. This does directly support my channel. I will not do that, because I really wanted to actually properly review this. Some games I'll take sponsorships, sometimes I won't, sometimes it's a one-time deal, but for this case, I don't want to. In fact, I even stopped my application for this company because I just want to review it. For some reason, there's just a lot of juicy drama. There's a lot of really juicy things as a critic that I can really sink my teeth into, which is why I'm making this video, but I need to let you guys know ahead of time. I know no video, nothing in this world exists in a vacuum. So when you watch this video, know what I am saying is also kind of as counters, and I'm putting forth proactively because of my peers. You're gonna notice a lot of people are maybe overly hyped. You're gonna notice a lot of people are maybe not as biting as they could be with their words. So you're gonna see a lot of hype about this, but with this video, now you should know, I'm not gonna hype it up too much, despite this being my fetish. I love these kind of games. Elder Scrolls PvP, Guild Wars 2 PvP, MMO PvP, but then also straight up, stuff like Dark Souls, For Honor, and then all those niche games that I could list off forever that you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. So yeah, hey, has anybody played Berserkers? No? Okay, I played a lot of crazy games that have this sort of combat system, MMO or otherwise. And I just want to say that it looks decent, but it definitely still looks slapped together, because that's what it is. This is something that was just thrown together, and really, I think we all know that. I think everyone is aware of that, but some of you guys might not quite realize that, this is so early in its work. I know Ashes of Creation was announced a while ago, but this combat system looks really new. I mean, it actually looks really good, to be blunt. Like, I'm not trying to hype up it or really too much or anything, but it actually does. The games that I'm talking about that I've played before, like Dark Messiah, Might and Magic Arena, if you guys played that, it was fun, it was good, but we really don't have that many good games that have actually really persisted and lived on, other than Dark Souls, and Dark Souls has that whole invasion gimmick, and it's really more of a single-player game at the same time. So actually getting proper melee and magic combat right, we see that a few times in a few MMO, hit or miss here, Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars 2, Terra as an example, of course BDO. There's a lot of really cool games out there that do some things, in ways that are really cool and ways that are really bad, and it depends on your taste and such. But me just looking at this, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Darkfall. It actually does remind me a lot of those other games that I've been mentioning, which is why I mentioned them. And I think that this is, in comparison to quality, even though this is just slapped on and definitely looks slapped on, actually already in its current state, looking pretty good. Now, I played a lot of these games, and I'm saying that right now, as somebody who really, really likes this kind of thing, this kind of trailer flicks my nipples, dudes. I'm liking it, okay? But, like, it's good. So anyways, hype aside, it's slapped together. It definitely looks pretty messy. It looks buggy. In a lot of instances, the camera is freaking out. The spell effects are all in your face. It's ridiculous. Also, the fact that they didn't show a UI is really shitty. They do show the numbers that pop up whenever a player is attacking another player. You see the damage numbers. Cool, but like the fact that we don't see a UI, even though that would probably be ugly and make the trailer not look as exciting, that's actually part of the gameplay. That's part of the game, and that's a big thing for me. So really, if I just went into any game and turned off the UI, like Guild Wars 2, did you know Guild Wars 2 technically is like action combat? There is an action targeting system, but you can actually even auto attack, bunny ears, and those are actually aimed. You can play it like a shooter. Sort of, not really, but it's possible. So if I were to turn off the UI, and if me as somebody who has made trailers for games before, who has done video game capture art, like, it's not hard to make a game look at as actiony as this trailer. So how action-packed is this? I don't know. I know it looks good, but I'm here to say that looks can be deceiving, and we should know that has been the history of Ashes of Creation for a while, that a lot of things look really good. Very specific things appear nice and sweet and cool, but really? The gameplay itself, I think, is more loud than the pretty visuals. It is a video game, so the visuals matter, but the game part. Remember how I said a lot of these games I played that look like this aren't MMOs? That's because combat like this generally doesn't work with MMOs. Then again, it didn't really work in those games because they all died, so I don't know, debatable, but we don't see actual MMO gameplay, once again, from Ashes of Creation, which is a big worry about the game as a whole. And it's definitely a criticism I've had and a commentary I've had carried over for quite a while in a lot of my videos, that a lot of MMOs can't really sustain themselves as MMOs, which is why in their trailers, you often don't see massive content. And of course, this is like pre-alpha and early access and stuff like that, but I personally believe an MMO should be built as an MMO. So this combat system, which is brand new, is this going to work with a massive number of players? Then again, you could debate that no combat system ever works with a massive number of players. Honestly, I would kind of agree, just a little bit. But it's just something to keep in mind, because in the trailer, I don't think we see, do we see 2v2? I don't know if we even see 2v2, maybe 3v3, 4v4. If we can start seeing like 5v5s, 6v6s, if we can start seeing more larger groups, especially big team battle, which I consider 8 versus 8 and higher, if we can see trailers like that, or like we saw with Elder Scrolls Online with the big epic wars, the realm versus realm stuff from Guild Wars 2 as well, if we can start seeing that kind of trailerage, then I'd be really excited. But then again, like, we can look at this and say it looks cool. And all my experience playing games similar to this, MMO or otherwise, yeah, I could say it looks decent. Pre-alpha, fine enough. But with everything about Ashes of Creation, all the shadiness, all of the just, slapping stuff on there to appease the crowd in order to get applause from everyone, in order to get more investors, deeper into the game, investing in the game and making them more confident. I don't know. This game just seems like it's really commercial. This game is just like, that's not a negative. Like it's doing a good job. I'm just saying it's doing a really good job at looking good, rather than trying to show us the true reality of what the game is at the moment. Of course, like they do streams, you can watch their streams, they are being rather public, so it's kind of harsh for me to say that, but then again, you guys should know me by now, I'm pretty cynical. But the thing is I'm still worried. A lot of games are really public, really open, Kickstarter games, and then when they finally do launch, they 180 or things weren't quite as they seemed, even as supposedly open as they've been. They might show a little bit of video and then they say a whole lot through text, or they'll say a whole lot while they're on camera, but they never really give us the actual gameplay. Now, we'll be able to play the game soon, apparently, but how actual playable it's going to be, I'm really dubious, okay? I think it's dubious. But I think it's kind of scoobious. I think it's going to be kind of interesting. I think it's going to be fun, and now that I see this combat system, actually, even though I said I wasn't going to just hype up the game, I'm actually way freaking more excited. In fact, I actually just sat myself on the hype train. That's just how much I have a bias for stuff like this. Now, I'm still not going to promote the game, really. I'm still not going to shout it out. I still want to come at this game, specifically this game, as a reviewer, as a critic, and I want to tear it apart, guys. But here's me looking at this trailer and trying to tear it apart, and me just kind of saying that I think it actually looks interesting, but do know that it looks interesting because they're hiding a lot. There's missing information everywhere. And the information I can start to kind of fill around those gaps in the fog of war is, well, all of Ashes of Creation is kind of shady. That's what I can say. All of Ashes of Creation has been doing a lot of weird stuff that I'm still not confident in, which is why I don't want to promote it and why, you know, all that drama makes it really good, makes it, I think, a fair target for criticism. So that's what we're doing here. The gameplay combat, if I had to say anything about the specific spells on you know, showcase here, they're actually, I will say in closing, of course they can always add in more. They probably just threw in whatever was easiest. But I will say that they did put in certain spells first for a reason, probably because they were easy to put in. But I would personally, if I was on this team and I was making a trailer for the game, I would really want to showcase the more unique spells. So we saw a generic blink. It did actually blink through objects and through walls. That is pretty cool. But we saw mostly generic spells. We didn't see anything that really wowed us or blew us away, which Guild Wars 2 with its trailers actually specifically always shows us those unique spells, those unique abilities that make us want to play the game. This was just like, okay, some melee swings, a little bit of acrobatics with the blinking, of course, you know, your AoE fire nuke. Basically, they just showed like the same handful of abilities over and over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, this is just thrown together. They just put in what looks best and slapped it in together. But personally, I want to see a little bit more creativity. I want to see way more out of Ashes of Creation, and I want to ask more because that's how this game came about. Of players becoming developers and asking more to do something more, and asking the players to take all that money. Okay, they asked players for money. They got a lot of money to make a game. And now it's our turn to keep asking, to hold them to that responsibility of all that money and the responsibility of, I know it sounds kind of white knightish in a way, but what Ashes of Creation is doing is trying to step forward, you know, a giant leap as an MMO for the MMO genre, which has been in kind of a drought. Not saying that there hasn't been MMOs coming out, but really, technologically and creatively, it's kind of been in a drought for, you know, 5 years at least. So Ashes of Creation, we're asking out of you to just go a little bit more above and beyond. And it is cool that you're reflecting to player input. You're, you know, asking players what they want, what they don't want. You're trying to make the best game possible, and we can see that reflected in this brand new trailer for a brand new combat system. Nothing wrong with that, and you are being rather open, so I do appreciate that. But there's still a lot of things that just kind of seem shady, and it seems quick, and it seems dirty, and I think this game should be much more polished and much more sexy in terms of game design, which you're still very much hiding. We see this combat, but we don't know what PvP modes, we don't know exactly how the PvP is going to work, essentially, with the bounty system. And, you know, there's so many little tiny mechanics, you know, of the game, the gameplay, that we don't know and we can't see. So all I can show you is this trailer over and over again, show you the graphics, I guess the slight physics interactions, barely. All I can show you is, you know, how pretty the game looks, basically, or how not pretty. It depends on your opinion, but basically, this is the game. That's all we know. And what they're not saying, I think, says a lot. What they're not showing is kind of telling. So, anyways, that's my thoughts and feelings. Rather up and down and all over the place, but hey, people are nuanced. We have deep opinions, and I want to know yours as well. Leave in the comments below. Are you excited for Ashes of Creation? Are you skeptical of Ashes of Creation? Can you be both? Because I am. So, anyways, this trailer did get me more excited. I want to see more, literally, more players, more gameplay, more game modes, more environments, more abilities. I want to see more and more and more, because right now there's not much to show, and it's just me replaying a trailer over and over and talking over it. So, thanks for watching, guys. Keep the hype alive. My name is Skylent, and I'll see you again next time.